This is a Fox News alert. We're just getting word now that Toyota says that we will recall approximately 2.3 million vehicles to correct sticking accelerator pedals. We wanted to bring this to you. The recall involves late model RAV RAV4, Corollas, Matrix, Avalon, Camry, Highlander, Sequoia models. A lot of people have these cars. Toyota is also suspending sales and some production of those vehicles. You can definitely get more on this story on FoxNews.com, and Shepard Smith will have more on it at the Fox Report, but we wanted to bring it to you. Now for our second panel about this spending freeze that President Obama is proposing.
Well, the problem with a spending freeze is you're using a hatchet where you need a scalpel.
I think that the president understands now how serious this problem is, and it requires hatchets and scalpels. I appreciate the fact that the president has changed his position since the campaign.
We are cutting in programs that we think that have outlived their usefulness and that need to be cut. Again, that's what a family does. That's what the government should begin to do.
It's like going to a pie eating contest and now deciding like you're going to go on a diet.
There you get some flavor for the reaction today, and candidate Obama back on the campaign trail. We're back with the panel. Nina, 3-year freeze on non-security spending. What does this do, really?
Well, I think it is a scalpel. I mean, it's $250 billion out of, what, $6 trillion deficits over the years. So it is a bit of a scalpel. It also leaves him wiggle room to do some of the things he thinks are politically good, like helping the middle class with child care tax credits during this difficult economic period. It's not, I don't think he's making any bipartisan headway. I think we lost an opportunity for that in the Senate today, where they voted down this bipartisan commission, which would have forced both Republicans and Democrats to make really tough decisions on this.
Charles.
It's not a hatchet, it's not a scalpel, it's a Q-tip. It's a fraud. This is a minuscule amount. Remember, it excludes defense, homeland security, it excludes veterans affairs, it excludes all the entitlements, which are 60% of the budget. It excludes stimuli, past and future, the 2/3 of the near $1 trillion stimulus that has not been spent. All of that is excluded. It excludes the trillion that would end up being spent in health care if it were passed. What it is a $15 billion reduction in a year, 2011, in which the CBO has just announced we're going to have a deficit of $1.35 trillion. Which means it's a rounding error, it's lunch money.
Administration one says you got to start somewhere. People on the left say, what is he doing? People on the right say it's not good enough. What do you think?
Wow, what a bad situation. Both ends of the political spectrum don't like it. The left says it reminds them of what Herbert Hoover did, that kept the Great Depression rolling. It reminds them of what the Japanese did that prolonged the 90s recession. And on the right, this decision that Nina just referred to, not to have the panel look at where there's excess in government. Mitch McConnell, the Republican leader in the Senate, says it would inevitably lead to tax hikes, and he's not buying into it. He's not playing that game because he's not going to be party to it. So I understand what both sides are saying. But if you're a voter, don't you stop and think, this government's spending too much money? Somebody has to bear the burden at some point. When you see stimulus spending...
I mean, you didn't say this a lot as we were going through all of the spending proposals that the administration was saying from the beginning.
I happen to think that you have to be responsible. I think you have to cut. In other words, there are certain areas if you want social safety nets. For example, if you want health care, you've got to say, you know what, we're going to cut elsewhere or we're going to raise taxes because we as an American people think this is a good thing. You can't have it both ways.
But this isn't a real cut. It's an appearance of cuts. It's a maneuver as a response to what happened in Massachusetts, because he lost the independents, Obama, 3-1, and he knows independents worry about debt and deficits and spending. So he announces a freeze, which is meaningless. Remember, these departments enjoyed a 20% increase in budget as a result of what Obama and the Democrats have done in 2009. So you're freezing it at an extraordinarily high and unusually high.
Hold on one second. Nina, last word. Is this more of attack to the center? Will we see more of it?
He's been talking about spending control for months. So it actually predates all of this. He's been talking about this. I think what it is it's an appearance of attack to the center, but is he serious about it? That's hard to believe. He didn't take the opportunity of health care reform to lower health care costs, which would have helped on the Medicare front, which is a huge drag on the budget.
That is it for the panel. We squeezed it all in, but stay tuned for the latest teleprompter troubles.